This Christmas Day, 101 years ago, one of TV's most creative minds and best writers, born right here in Syracuse, Twilight Zone creator Rod Serling, will be honored this Thursday at the Everson Museum of Art in downtown Syracuse. Joining us now is SUNY Oswego professor Ryan Zlomek, who's coordinating that event. Ryan, good to see you. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jeff. I appreciate it.
Like you, I have an incredible admiration for Rod Serling's work, especially Twilight Zone. What got you, though, to put the event on Thursday at the Everson and bring in other people who celebrate it, but maybe some that aren't as familiar with his work beyond just Twilight Zone?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm obviously a huge fan of Rod Serling. They put on Serling Fest every year in Binghamton, New York, which is what he very proudly called his hometown. But we're his birthplace, you know. Syracuse is where it literally all started. And I just thought it was kind of a shame that we didn't have any screenings or anything. So I partnered up with the Rod Serling Memorial Foundation. Nick Parisi, their president, has been remarkably supportive. Last year, we screened Patterns, which was Rod Serling's sort of like big achievement to kick off his career and really make him a household name. And with their blessing again, we're going to come back with Requiem for a Heavyweight this year.
Yeah, what is that all about? Because I think some people are familiar with it, but maybe they aren't. So what is that's the focus of Thursday's event, right? Requiem for a Heavyweight.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep, so we know Rod Serling as, you know, the guy in front of the camera for the Twilight Zone, somebody who wrote a ton of scripts for that particular TV show. But prior to the creation of the Twilight Zone, he would write scripts for anthology teleplays, Desilu Playhouse or Playhouse 90. Television didn't quite know what it was at the time, and he would get in there and write these plays that would be live broadcast on air. And they were these huge events that people would, you know, sit around their television sets for and wait all week for. And he really gained notoriety for that and kind of got the street cred he needed to get the Twilight Zone off the air. So my screenings have focused on looking at his early work so we can see how it influenced things like the Twilight Zone and the Night Gallery.
I would say, was he way ahead of his time, but and there's some incredible writers throughout history, but has anybody even caught up to where he was in his career?
That's a very good question. So supposedly he had about 250 scripts produced in just over his, like, not even past his lifetime, but just in the world of Rod Serling, 250 scripts. And I have a hard time thinking of a lot of other script writers that have come anywhere near that number.
Yeah, and so well done, too. So we mentioned he was born in Syracuse. He grew up in Binghamton. He taught at Ithaca College, my alma mater. Do you find it as cool when you're watching some of those Twilight Zone episodes and you hear references very specifically to, like, Ithaca and Binghamton? It's kind of neat to see Central New York played out like that.
Yeah, I don't know how you can't be stoked without being seen in mass media. So, you know, his production company was called Cayuga Productions because he loved Cayuga Lake. If you watch the Twilight Zone mirror image right at the beginning, it's a woman trying to take a bus to Cortland, and then Tully and Syracuse get referenced. In Midnight Sun, they're trying to get to Syracuse for cooler weather. It's amazing. But equally, if you're a Binghamtonian, Boss Cobb's department store is sort of referenced all over the place. And other pieces of sort of upstate New York culture that show itself in his writing and his just passion for the area. Yeah,
I remember in Midnight Sun they talk about a cool waterfall in Ithaca, New York. We certainly know Ithaca's got plenty of those. Let's actually, before we get run out of time, let's go through the specifics for Thursday. What time, any charge, and again, Everson Museum, right? Give us all the particulars for Thursday.
Absolutely. So we try to make this as accessible to the public as possible as part of the Everson's Pay What You Want program, Pay What You Wish program. So come in, and if you want to pay nothing, if you want to pay $1, if you want to pay $100, we'll welcome it. At 5 o'clock, the doors open. 5:30, I'll give a lecture about Rod Serling, his history and his relationship with boxing. And then we're going to show his teleplay Requiem for a Heavyweight, which sort of jump-started his career a second time after Patterns, and is a really cool piece that a lot of people don't get to see, with Jack Palance, Ed Wynn, and Keenan Wynn. And Fat Cat Baking will be there with some vegan baked goods, and it's all, you know, sponsored by SUNY Oswego, the Everson, and the comic shop of Oswego.
This is unfair. You got about 30 seconds. Give me a couple of your top Twilight Zone episodes.
Straight up, I love A Stop at Willoughby. Something about that work-life balance can only be overpowered by imagination. Just jumps out at me, man. How about you, Jeff? What's your favorite?
Yeah, I got to say, I mean, Midnight Sun is a great one because I love all those local references in there. So that's definitely a top one for me. I love the one with Billy Mummy where he sends people to the cornfield, right? If they're bothering him during the TV show with the tournament of Jack and the Box. Oh, there's so many. We could go on forever. Unfortunately, I'm out of time right now. Ryan, I wish you the best of luck with everything on Thursday, and thanks for joining us here.
Thanks for having me, Jeff. I appreciate it.
Download the WSYR Plus app on your TV to stream News Channel 9 for free. Just go to your smart TV, search WSYR Plus in the App Store, and download to start streaming today.